Call out Yahweh Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught us his truth and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect brethren. I want to get into James 5 and 2 and 3 in the blue letter and show how relevant it is to this current financial collapse that has occurred and continuing to spiral downward in what we know is prophesied of an economic collapse. Okay, tells us in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, that in the day when the keepers of the house would tremble. Okay, basically for looking at dark economic times in the future. Okay, and we know that this is a manufactured collapse by the elites to usher in the MOTB, okay, the digital currency that's going to be ultimately transferred into that implantable device, okay, and that they have to what they call a controlled demolition, that they have to collapse all these fucking banks. Okay, let me get this show you the headline of this article real quick from Natural News. Financial death spiral ensues as so not just a downward spiral, a death spiral. Okay, it's phasing out this economic system. It says financial death spiral ensues as SVB, First Republic, PacWest, Signature Bank all collapse. The contagion continues. Okay, so this is likened to something that's going to spread rapidly. Okay, to destroy. It says, if you're thinking that the banking collapse will end with Silicon Valley Bank, think again. Contagion is already spreading as Americans are waking up to the fact that the American financial system is a fraudulent Ponzi scheme that will result in financial ruin for many, especially those whose lives and livelihoods depend on it the most. Okay? So, jumping into James 5 and 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Okay, let's go into this word corrupted. Means to make corrupt or to destroy. Okay, so or to become corrupted, rotten. All right, so this actual financial system is being destroyed. Okay, and we know it's all ultimately a work of the Heavenly Father, working in the minds of the elites to even usher in this new system, okay? Because this is the Most High's hour of temptation, just like the missiles, the weapons of his indignation. He put it in the minds of the creators to even invent those weapons, okay? So the same is for the orchestrators of this device and this whole new financial system that they're ushering in. Okay, it's from the Most High. So he's destroying this money system. Okay, and ultimately we're the men of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai are in a state of rejoicing because this is what is required to usher in the Most High's eternal kingdom. Okay, we relish in the destruction of the society. Okay, in the putting down of wickedness and the filth that is this place, man. Okay, it says to putrefy, to perish. So this The scriptures even tell us that riches profit not in the day of wrath, and we're coming into swiftly approaching the day of wrath. Okay, let's get this. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Okay. Because it said it was a contagion. It's spreading like a contagion, right? And it is. It's going to be a domino effect. It said it was the second biggest bank collapse in the history, in the history of mankind. Okay. So it says behind Washington Mutual in '08. Okay. Let's see. Let's check it. Cankered. So this word cankered goes into to rust over, to cover with rust, to corrode. Okay. And when you look at rust, that shit spreads. And it could spread within even fucking minutes, days. Okay. And that's depending on the conditions and the environment. All right. And when you look at it, rusting is oxidized metal. That metal is oxidizing. All right. And basically, based on the environment, in certain conditions, which if it's in the same vicinity and under those same conditions, i.e. these different banks are in the same fucking financial sector, okay? It's in the same fucking industry. And then imagine how many different industries, like the stock market, and other sectors that are tied in to, the like the brother in the Bay was going into the investment brokerage industry, going into venture capital and equity investing and shit like that. That's all linked to that. When those things are in the same vicinity, i.e. the same industry, in this case, it's gonna spread. That rust is gonna occur in the other metal, in that vicinity that the rust occurred at. It's going to occur in the in other pieces of metal in that vicinity. Okay, so pretty much that breaking it down to where that rust is gonna fucking occur in all that shit. All that shit's gonna get rusted out. And that's exactly what's happening with these fucking banks, man. And that's that contagion that's gonna further corrode and rust over this fucking this economic sector. And then right here is the kicker. The rust. Okay. Rust going into eos means poison of animals. Okay. And that's why our apostles and elders, our teachers taught us how to go into these words, how imperative it is to go into the breakdowns, the etymology, the blue letter origin for the original intention of the words that are being used. Okay. It's to get that full understanding. It says, the poison of asp is under his lips, spoken of men giving to reviling and calumniating and thereby injuring others. Okay, rust. Okay. Rust is emitted by metals. Okay, why would it say emit? All right, because that shit spreads like fucking wildfire. Also, venom as emitted by serpents, poison, rust. Okay, so it was extremely spiritual for James to use these words that go into how this thing is gonna spread, okay, like a poison, like a cancer, all right, just as we saw in 2008. And ultimately, they just put a fucking band-aid over that. This is what we're experiencing. They just put a band-aid over the wound in the 2008 financial collapse, and that was one of the worst in record history, if not the worst. Okay, we know that the single greatest bank crash in the history of mankind, Washington Mutual, occurred in '08. Okay, and all those bailouts and shit, they just put a band-aid over it, meaning that it was later it was gonna, that mortal wound was gonna fucking take this economy out. All right, and we know it's all fucking controlled demolition. We know it's manufactured by the elites so they could usher in this new financial system. But it doesn't take away from the devastation that is about to occur in this place. Okay, the lack and fucking and want, the fuck want, the needs that the people, the necessity, the bare necessities motherfucker needs to survive. That these people is gonna be inaccessible to these people. Okay, it's gonna be fucking pure, all out, unadulterated hell for the masses of the people. Okay, so that they're fucking wholly reliant on this implantable device. Okay, so and it even tells you about that wound, that the wound that will not be healed. We'll finish off with that in the spirit. It says in Jeremiah 51:8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take a balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Okay. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted even unto the skies. Okay, so that fucking band-aid that they put over it, that little balm, and then the form, like brothers have gone into for years, the little QEs that they did. But ultimately going into that fucking band-aid, if you go into all of these financial the motherfuckers who evaluate the financial climate, okay, they call them economists, all right, financial forecasters and all this shit. Those motherfuckers will tell you, and they actually went in and had interviews. They got interviewed, fucking, you can imagine, hundreds of them, thousands of them, during that time of the financial collapse, and they were all talking about how it was just a band-aid over this shit. Okay, that it's gonna come back to completely fuck this entire global economy, but have a a death blow to the American economy and the fucking the U.S. dollar and shit. Okay, and that was that bomb. But that bomb is going to, that mortal wound is going to manifest. It already went down. Okay, the fucking avalanche has now commenced. All right, that fucking that ball of snow that starts out at the top of the hill starts out small. Okay, it's gonna have that snowball effect. A fucking avalanche of destructive events are gonna follow with this occurrence, man. This devastating event that just went down, and that's, like it said, is further gonna spread. Okay, and have a contagious effect on the entire world economy. Okay, and we know what for what purposes, through spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, all ultimately to phase out fucking this global Edomite regime. Okay, and this left side of life. All right. So with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashem Kadash.